Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's T the Best, and we're here with a Pokemon TCG video. Now, today, we're kind of looking at a deck that essentially many thought would fall off after post rotation, and it's one of my favorite decks. Actually, it's Mewtwo and Mew-GX, using essentially the Welder engine. Now, a lot of people kind of had this thought process that after post rotation happened, Mewtwo will lose a lot of his tech cards, not necessarily tech cards, but cards that help to make it stay consistent. The Jirachi, the skateboard, huge staples in this deck, and a lot of people thought that it would kind of fall off. To be honest, it hasn't really, and that's actually not really too surprising, but it has changed up a lot of the attackers that you do have in this. We did lose the Naganadel-GX from Forbidden Light that had Stinger-GX on it. And we also lost our Solgaleo-GX as well, being able to attack for 120 and attach energies from your discard pile to any of your bench Pokemon, any way you like. Unfortunately, we did lose those kind of attackers, but we did end up adding a couple new ones. We have the Indeedee V. Now, Indeedee V was originally in here, I want to say right after its release. Indeedee V was included in a lot of sets, but then it actually kind of fell off as nobody really used it. It did see some play, but it didn't see a whole lot at the beginning, but it is back. And then now we do have the Incineroar-GX, being able to use Crushing Punch to discard a special energy from your opponent's active Pokemon, and also being able to hit for 130. And his GX attack is nothing to laugh about either. I mean, this is a very strong GX attack. Being able to do 50 damage for every damage counter on your Pokemon. Essentially, if your Mewtwo and Mew has at least 5 or 6 damage counters on it, you're knocking out a lot of the VMAXs out there. So that's a it's a good card. It's a good card. The supporting line and the rest of the lineup is kind of the same. You have 4 Welder. I want to say you might want to run about maybe 4 switches. 3 is currently in here right now, but I'm kind of leaning towards running a 4th one. And of course, an extra boss's order as well. 3 Giant Herf, 1 Professor Research, 4 Pokegear, 4 Quick Ball, and 4 Cherish Ball, as well as 4 Horror Energy. A little bit more Fire Energy, not too much, but it is there. But this is kind of like the new version of it currently. There are some cards that you could probably end up taking out, like the Jirachi-GX. This is kind of in there just for your other matchup against another Psychic type deck. Not really many are out there currently. Dragapult GX is Dragapult V and VMAX is probably the one that I would come to think of, but a lot of people aren't playing it just because they're turning this V is out there as well. So not really a lot of play, but there is a new card that kind of started seeing some play towards the end, towards the beginning of Sword and Shield, and actually kind of a little bit more after that too. And this is the Muck and Alolan Muck with Severe Poison. Being able to put 8 damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon and poisoning them at the same time is actually very good. And also being able to heal off that if you're able to pull off that combo is really good as well. But outside of that, I mean, it's a standard kind of Mewtwo and Mew-GX deck. We have gone from the 3 to 4 Mewtwo's. And then of course we have the addition of Crobat V. I mean, not much else to say. It draws you cards. So this is the list currently. I believe this is actually Henry Brand's list that he actually printed out, I want to say about a couple days ago. So I played around with it. It works pretty well. There are some things that I would personally take out. Jirachi-GX is one of them, and probably add in another boss or probably that's probably about it so far. Everything else seems like it fits pretty well. Maybe the Muck and Alolan Muck as well. But let's go ahead and jump into some games. All right, here we go. We got a matchup against Hamburger 11. All right, so I still think I want to go first. Lost a coin flip, that's fine. Yeah, I still, even with the restrictions of not being able to play a supporter card, Welder is still a very devastating card. Even when you did go first and you're able to play supporter. Nothing really kind of changed there. I mean, you still play your supporter, but then it's just like, what else do you do after that? You can't attack, you just get set up. Did allow getting Double Blaze GX, essentially the full effect of it off very easily, but I mean, outside of that, it didn't really change much. So hopefully we'll figure out what we're playing against here in a second. It looks like it's a mirror match, actually. I believe this might be a mirror match. I have not seen this card in a very long time, so all right, so this is actually a different version of this card. So there's that. Huh, that's interesting. I never thought about adding this card back in. It might actually do very well. All right, so we actually might get the first attack off here. There's a switch. I don't think switching into Mewtwo and Mew is a good idea. Why would you switch into Mewtwo and Mew? Huh, that's interesting. So I think we can actually get the knockout here if we're able to. I'm trying to think of what we would be able to do. That actually is a good idea. So we can actually go into Incineroar-GX, use Incineroar-GX, and then ping this with the Zigzagoon one time. And I think we're actually fine because he brought it up for us on his own. So I think that's what we can do. So we'll do this. Do that. We are day changing here, so we're just gonna make sure Zigzagoon is in the deck. Zigzagoon is there. So I think what we'll end up doing is Incineroar-GX here. So we probably could have actually done that a different way. So we'll actually use we'll use the Cherish Ball to make sure Incineroar-GX does go into the discard pile. So we will do that first. And we will ping the active Mewtwo for one. Go get Incineroar-GX. And then we will use Day Change to get, and we will use Day Change here and hope that we actually draw into Welder and 2 fire. There's the fire, there's Pokegear. Let's actually thin the deck out a little bit more. I don't want to get rid of too many fire because we don't have a whole lot, but that's fine. So we'll go ahead and Pokegear. Ah, we missed. Oh, we missed. That's not good. And our hand is trash now. All right, pass. Yeah, we missed that. That is that's not good. Because now they can come in. They're gonna have to figure out a way to hit us for at least that much. Yep, and I'm pretty sure they probably do have the Welder in hand. Yep, there's the Welder. What are you gonna put it to though? Do you put it against your Mewtwo knowing you're gonna get knocked out? They have Great Catcher in hand. We are. There's the Watch Over. Yep. Yeah. I really needed to hit into the Welder and a switch. I really needed those 2 cards to be able to do this. So they can actually come up. They'll actually be able to get a knockout possibly here. Actually, they cannot get a knockout yet. Yep. And that's fine, actually, because now I think we could... we got a Crobat. Okay. Let me think. If we use Outrage, it's only going to do 260. And, of course, we already have used our Zigzagoon for the 1 turn to ping there. So I think we can actually probably attach here. We'll get rid of 1 fire. Don't need any more. And then we'll just draw 3. There's the Welder. There's that. So I think now that will only hit it for 260. He'll come up. So I can come up there. I can hit him for about 200 actually. I'm trying to think, how would this work? I can hit it for 200. Or I hit it for 400 with a knockout. He'll come back up and hit me for a knockout. So, and we missed again. Well, I guess we could actually day change here. I mean, we'll be digging into the deck though, but it is possible. And then we can also put... This does nothing for that, so we'll just do that and day change. I did not want to do that though. There's a switch card that we needed. So now it comes down to how are we going to get this knockout? We have to get the knockout. Like there is a guarantee we have to get it. They are down 2 Welders. They are down their Eldegoss. I can just Flare Strike and get the knockout here. I can do that. Because then that would actually save... Flare Striking here will save my GX for another turn. All right, let's do it. All right, there we go. All right, so we got the first hit. There's our Mewtwo. We're probably going to expect our Mewtwo to get knocked out here. We are down 2 fire, and we still have a psychic energy, so we're still okay for the moment. Their retaliation will essentially, possibly, most likely be them come up with another Mewtwo, be able to Welder onto at least 3 energy, and then come up and hit me with Double Blaze. But it's possible they might not have it, as they just came up with Indeedee V. But if they do get a Welder off this one, Indeedee V will be the one that can get the knockout here. They did miss. Okay. Reset step. That means I think they might have whiffed it. It is possible that they missed the knockout here. Does the attach return and a pass? Is it a pass? It is still nothing yet. All right, 2 fire. So if that is that a Welder in your hand? It is not. So we can win this now. So we're gonna thin out the deck real quick because we can win this. We can still win this. So what we need to get out of the deck is just I guess just this. Actually, we'll do fine. That's fine. So we need to get a boss's orders. We definitely need to just thin out the deck though, so we will do that. Let's get the rest of the fire out the deck. There is at least 1 boss order. Oh gosh. Okay. All right. Here goes nothing. Do we get it? No, we did not get it. Okay, that's fine. So now we got to start setting up something else for our attacker here. Trying to think what the best option will be here. We can knock out the Dedenne now, but we do need to make sure that we have another attacker ready to go. So we will set you up because it can come up and hit for at least 260. So there is that. So I think, to be honest, what we can do here, I don't know if we take the knockout here or if we take out the knockout on the Dedenne, because we do force this to have 2 retreat calls more so than the Dedenne. They do need to switch cards, so I think we actually just go after the Dedenne. We go after, yeah, I think we just go after Dedenne. Yeah, so we'll take out the Dedenne. We'll force them to have to get their Pokemon out the active again. There's nothing really we can do about that. I think that's probably the better play. I could be wrong, but it does send us down. I think regardless of any play that we took there, we still would have been down at least to 1 prize card to their 6. But the good thing is we do still have Reshiram in the back here, ready to go, and that's concede. So there we go. So like I said, the deck is still doing pretty well. I do like the inclusion of Espeon Deoxys. That is an interesting inclusion, and it's probably definitely worth looking into, more so than anything else, just because there is a lot of cards out there, and I've never actually seen this with a Volcanion. So there are a lot of new cards in here that actually are different. I'm not sure what the Cobalion would do. There's not a lot of metal Pokemon in here that when they have a card attached to them, so it might not be worth it, or maybe it's just in here for the Iron Rule. Who knows, but this deck is essentially the same. There is a few differences here and there, but not too many differences. Is definitely worth looking into. But that is it for this video. Hey, Mewtwo and Mew, you still know what's up, man. You still know what's up. But if you liked the video, go ahead, hit that like button, subscribe, all those great things. Here's the list again. I will put it down in the description. My personal choice, I probably would take out the Jirachi-GX, add in a different card. That Espeon and Deoxys is definitely an interesting card that you probably could think about adding in. But outside of that, if you like the video, hey, stick around. We got more of the PTCGO content coming out for y'all. I'm gonna try and get into the Eternatus V and all those other decks that are coming out from the player cut. But until the next one, I'll catch y'all next time. Peace out, y'all.